Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome, it's Chris back with yet another fragrance review, and today this is a special one. This is a vintage one and it is a flanker. Now let's get to it. Insense Ultramarine by the precious house of Givenchy, released in 1994 it was, so almost 30 years on the market, this fragrance, okay? And the parfumeur, the nose behind this fragrance is Christian Mathieu. And believe it or not, this fragrance was, or still is, actually a flanker to the original Insense, which came in an all yellow box, and the bottle looked the same, but the juice inside was golden instead of bluish like you see here. So that one was the original Insense from the year of 1993, so just 1 year prior to this one, okay? In 1993, Insense came out and rocked the market with its very, very classy floral backbone and character, okay? And then this one, with this fragrance, Insense Ultramarine, Givenchy aimed to create a summer flanker to the original Insense, okay? So, hence, therefore, the color of the box changed from all yellow into almost all blue, okay? And the juice inside the bottle changed from gold to this very nice deep greenish, bluish, turquoise or turquoise type of scenario that we see here, okay? So apart from that, it is very important to mention that this is a summer flanker, okay, but a very, very brave composition by Christian Mathieu. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's not your typical aquatic nothingness and generic fragrance, even though I've seen some people on Fragrantica saying that this is generic. Okay, give me a break, it's not generic. And why? I'm going to tell you why. Because Christian Mathieu was very, very brave when he created the blend here. If I should classify it, this is a fruity, aquatic, soapy, salty fragrance, okay? Now let's deep dive into the notes here. How does this fragrance achieve to be categorized like that, okay? Well, the fruity aspects are definitely very clear. Clear, straightforward, blackcurrant and watermelon. And especially the watermelon gives this slightly aquatic touch, okay? And the blackcurrant is just yummy. I love blackcurrant in a fragrance, but almost immediately after application, you're gonna find a very similar and very brave floral background, floral backbone to this fragrance that refers to the original Insense, okay? And the main floral note in this fragrance is magnolia, and I love magnolia, beautiful magnolia, today very rarely used, okay? But it gives this fragrance a very special character, especially when paired up with iris, carnation, and the fantastic, gentle lily of the valley, okay? Some sage in there as well, and in the background you have some cedar lingering around it. All together, all these many notes manage to create a always fresh, floral, soapy, and salty springtime, summertime beauty, okay? Now, the soapiness is fairly recognizable in this one, fairly strong, and therefore might not be the cup of tea for those who don't like their fragrances soapy, okay? The soapiness also is paired up with something like I feel is very salty, although there's no salty notes listed here, but I think the combination of the blend, it is ending up in something salty smelling, which I adore to no end because it really fits what this fragrance is all about, okay? This carefree, summer feeling. Okay, it's almost like you after application, if you would lick your hand where you applied, let's say, the fragrance, it would taste salty. It's salty to that extent, and soapy and fruity, and a bit, especially in the dry down, woody. Okay, so these are the pillars, the very pillars this fragrance is standing on. Okay, so absolutely not generic, nothing you would smell today. There's no pushy aquatic or citrusy or sweet aspect in this fragrance at all. It is to me a very French composition. Well, Givenchy would expect that. Okay, very, very good quality, extremely nice in terms of compliment getting, because again it's a standalone character. You don't smell anything like this out there anymore, that much floral, and at the same time légère, easygoing. The problem with the original incense here was from 1994 that it was too floral, and the market was not ready for it at all, so it failed after a while. But this flanker, due to the fruity aspects and the more légère, more easygoing vibes and moods that it presents to the wearer, and indeed to his or her environment, if you will, managed to, be riding the waves of times ever since 1994. Okay, very much still around, and it wears really like a second skin type of fragrance. It is never pushy, but constantly present. Okay, its longevity on me is way beyond 8 hours, and silicone projection, as I said, second skin type, so it's moderate. But that's exactly how you want it to be. It's being, carried along. This scent is being carried along by a gentle summer breeze. Okay, and for me, it's a very, very personal fragrance as well, because I had a 50 milliliter bottle back in springtime. Actually, exactly, I can tell you, in April 1996, I wore this. Okay, spring 1996, and never since then. I bought this one recently. This is a vintage one that you see here in front of you. Not as vintage as 1994 or 96 or even 98, but still fairly old bottle, the one that you see here in front of you. So this is exactly how the vintage looked like at the time. Now I understand that this fragrance is still around, but without the Givenchy being mentioned on the box or bottle. I don't know about that, haven't seen that, but this one is definitely the same smelling, the same performing as it was when I first encountered and wore this fragrance, as I say, back in April 1996. And it brings back tremendous memories of the times, of the weather, of the people that were around, and it's therefore, for me, but in general, I would say also for everybody, perfect for springtime and summertime. The only thing, it's the soapy saltiness that might not be everybody's cup of tea. It is definitely mine, so I adore this to bits. And the blackcurrant and the watermelon, it's exactly that type of fruitiness that I like, not this overly sweet stuff that's going on here, or not here, but in general in the market in these days. So this is perfectly down my alley. Obviously, it has a bit of a touch of the 90s as well. So you have a 90s vibe here. Definitely, you can feel it, you can smell it. But isn't that very, very positive? I love the 90s vibe, because guess what? That's when I had my heydays, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So thanks very much. This was Chris from Sandland with Insense Ultramarine from the precious house of Givenchy. And I'm gonna be back with more, and I'm gonna definitely be rocking this fragrance throughout the spring of 2022, 26 years after I wore this first. Oh my goodness me, time flies, time just flies. Bye bye.